Magandang umaga po. Ako po si Attorney De Alban, aplikante po sa Senador. Ako po ay isang abogado for 17 years, litigation lawyer. Halos araw-araw po ako po ay nasa korte at 16 years na guro sa University of Santo Tomas. Ako po ay tumatakbo sa platapormang bibigyan ko po ng karagdagang benepisyo ang mga children with special needs sa Senado, Amendment of Family Code, at higit sa lahat dagdag pondo sa husgado para bumilis ang kaso, hindi namamatay ang mga witnesses, madaling makonvict ang mga korap. Sana po ay bigyan niyo po ako ng pagkakataon na maglingkod sa Senado.
Okay. Attorney, you were once declared nuisance in 2019 pero inakit mo to sa Supreme Court, no? Ipinaglaban mo to and you said given a chance na maupo sa Senado, sabi mo, ang tawag dito, kailangan i-amend ang election code by giving COMELEC more authority. So how do you plan to do that?
Kasi yung COMELEC election code natin, ito ay nakabase sa 1980, yung batas pangbansa. No? Yes. Ang problem doon is, would you believe, and this is also an issue that I raised in the Supreme Court, sa lahat ng election laws natin, walang provisions about the Senate. Yes. You can check it. Batas pangbansa, Fair Elections Law, etc. So yung power ng COMELEC over the senators or senatorial candidates, hanging siya sa all-encompassing provision ng Constitution that the COMELEC shall regulate, supervise, etc. the elections here in the Philippines. Pero wala siyang specific because doon sa old election code, wala pang mga senators nun. And then na-carry over, dumating si Cory, walang provisions about election sa Fair Elections Act. So, kailangan nating bigyan ng pangil, bigyan nating additional powers ang COMELEC to regulate. Katulad ngayon, ang lalaki ng mga billboards ng ating mga senatorial candidates. Pero walang magawa ang COMELEC. Why? Because perhaps the COMELEC is aware that it does not have enough power over senatorial candidates. So, kung hindi mo masyadong nakita yung aspeto ng alam naman natin, ibang kandidato natin, abogado. Alam naman natin na lahat ng mga kandidato, may mga abogado yan. That is why they're trying to utilize the loophole na, teka lang, we can always raise this. We can always raise this. That is why we really need to amend our election code.
Kayo po, pag titingnan po yung mga surveys no, na lumalabas, iba't ibang surveys, wala po tayo, malayo pa po tayo dun sa top 12. Why run at ano po ang ating strategiya para umangat po?
Malayo pa tayo pero unti-unti. Medyo lumalapit. Sabi ko nga po sa team ko, while I do not fully believe sa mga surveys because sino ba yung nag-conduct ng survey, credibility ng mga respondents, sino nagbayad sa survey, no? If you are just going to look at the survey right now, from 0, pumasok tayo sa parang 55, ngayon nasa 31 na tayo. So, merong effort on our part na makilala. And siguro naniniwala sa atin yung mga supporters natin kasi kami, grassroots kami because would you believe na ang daming pamilya na may children with special needs. At yan ang aking advocacy. Advocacy ng family ko yan, 2008 pa. Umiikot kami sa buong Pilipinas. Now, we are really trying our best to raise awareness. And with what is happening, biro mo from a total nobody, I'm now in 31. If we are going to believe that survey. Now, medyo mahaba pa yung time. And I'm not spending millions, billions. Pero nasa 31 tayo. Malayo pa, pero unti-unti lalapit tayo dyan. Kaya natin yan. Kung mag-trend lang tayo ng mas maganda, no? Tuloy lang natin. Last week, nasa Cebu kami. The survey was made before we went to Cebu. Ang init ng pagtanggap sa amin sa Cebu ng mga families with children with special needs. Because they know it's coming from the heart. Because I have a nephew who has cerebral palsy and autism. So alam nila yung hirap ng gastos, yung Yung developmental assessment, mahal, no? Hindi lang mahal, even if they can afford it, wala. Ang daming nagtitrain for that, pero mahal talaga. So we cannot blame the doctors because they're doing their best. Pero kailangan ng assistance from the government.
Doon po tayo sa ano na lang po, no, sa judiciary, yung pagtaas ng budget doon, no? Kasi nabanggit mo na rin po 'yan, maraming nagsasabi na well, it doesn't work well kasi justice system daw sinasabi nila para lang naman 'yan sa mga may pera Yun yung makakakuha ng hustisya. Sinasabi din ng iba, baka dapat meron din tayong balik tayo sa ICC. Pabor po ba kayo dito?
Sa pagbalik natin sa ICC, kung pabor ba ako sa pagbalik sa ICC, of course, we need to go back to ICC for many reasons. I can cite two. Very important. If you are a lawyer, you know the importance of international law. We live in one world. Walang Mars, walang Venus. If you are part of the international community, you really have to abide by international law. Why? Kasi there's no such thing as nag-iisa ako sa mundo. Ang konsepto ng pacta sunt servanda, it's a Latin phrase meaning you have to serve your commitment. Meaning, you have to follow through kasi nakatanggap na tayo ng benepisyo before. Kung hindi tayo babalik sa ICC, ano ang iisipin ng mga investors sa Pilipinas? Ay, pwede pala sila mag-pull out. Anytime kapag inconvenient na sa kanila. Nagawa nila sa ICC, bakit hindi nila magagawa sa investment natin sa kanila? That is why hindi tayo siseryosohin ng international community kung hindi tayo babalik sa ICC. Because ICC is very important. Biro mo, isa tayo sa mga unang member ng ICC, tapos aalis tayo because of what? Because there's this one former president who does not want to be charged or to be tried with ICC.
Sinasabi din ng iba, baka dapat meron din tayong balik tayo sa ICC. Pabor po ba kayo dito?
That is why hindi tayo siseryosohin ng international community kung hindi tayo babalik sa ICC. Biro mo, isa tayo sa mga unang member ng ICC, tapos aalis tayo.
Given the experience that you've had with the COMELEC and the Supreme Court, how can we democratize elections? Yun yung what I mean, na parang, kasi yung mga nanalo parati, yung may
Yes.
kaya,
Mga kilala,
mayaman,
pwesto,
popular,
may
etc.
makinarya. It's not exactly democratic. Oh, it is democratic technically, but it's not exactly democratic in the sense that, the right people that we want to be there are there. Given your experience there, how would you want to change things?
I would want to change it by amending the Omnibus Election Code by giving the COMELEC more power to regulate, especially the social media. Nakita naman natin, right now kasi, very limited ang power ng COMELEC pagdating sa social media. Ang hirap i-regulate. Verified accounts, mga trolls, fake news spreaders, disinformation. Maganda nga sa mainstream media, you can police your own. You do not spread fake news. And I'm very thankful for that. But what about yun sa social media? So medyo wala kasing power ang COMELEC to regulate the social media technologically and more importantly legally. Now, if we empower the COMELEC to regulate the social media to really clamp down on those spreading misinformation, then yung mga katulad namin, hindi kami masasapawan. Why? Kapag ka nagpalabas ka ng maraming misinformation like fake surveys, you are conditioning the mind of the people. Fake surveys and at the same time fake information about independent candidates na ay wala yan, nababayaran lang naman yan, o wala namang alam yan sa lipunan, pinatakbo lang yan, etc. It creates doubt in the mind of the people that we are not really capable. When in fact, some of the most capable people who could lead and make laws are independent or lesser known citizens of the country. Sabi natin, okay, sikat lang naman sa kaya sa nananalo. Pero ayoko naman kasing sabihin, kasi binibigyan natin ng platform. Because that is also their right to be in their platform. But the
right also to do budots.
Yes, they have the right to dance, to do budots, to be interviewed, etc. Pero ang hirap kasi sa isang katulad, halimbawa, isang mangingisda, isang magsasaka, isang teacher na makipagsabayan.
Mhm.
That is why if we empower the COMELEC to regulate the social media, kasi sa mainstream, you have your own ethical consideration.
KBP.
Meron kayong KBP, no? NPC, National Press Club. The point is, wala kasi niyan sa social media. At yung mga nagpapanggap sa social media, most often than not, sila yung maraming followers. Napakahirap i-regulate yan.
So before na lang yung standard question natin, tanong ko lang kasi aside from being a lawyer, you are an educator as well.
Yes.
'Di ba? Siguro very quickly na lang, paano ba natin itataas yung kalidad ng edukasyon sa ating bansa? Kasi nagiging problema natin, nagiging behind tayo dun sa mga iba't ibang mga studies and etc.
Alright. Madaming aspeto, maraming kailangang ayusin dyan. But close to my heart would be we need to train teachers in order for the teachers to respond properly, may capability sila to handle children with special needs because that is close to my heart. No? Ang problem kasi natin ngayon is, okay, fine, under the law, there should be one public school na offering special education per LGU. But the problem is, what if malayo doon sa public school, etong bata na to, meron na nga siyang special needs. So napakahirap. Why not, instead of funding only the public school, training for public school teachers, why not also fund training for private school teachers? Wag nating pag-awayin yung public and private. Because at the end of the day, we are after the welfare of the children. So that is one. Second, under dun sa EDCOM 2 report, there's a problem with nutrition. No? From 0 to 2 years old or 3 years old, kailangan properly nourished yung bata.
First
After that,
1,000 days.
yes. After that, stunted na yan. At hindi lang yan, may problem sa mental health kasi malnourished, etc. So we go back to the basic, dapat well-nourished yung bata. Pangatlo, yun nga po, yung training ng mga teachers para meron silang capacity building, alam nila kung paano gumawa, kung paano mag-respond. We need to hire yung mga reading intervention specialists. Lahat yan kailangan pondohan no? And third, yung sa remediation process. Say for example, nahihirapan yung batang magbasa Monday to Thursday, same teacher. Pagdating ng Friday, magkakaroon sa remediation or magkakaroon na sinasawag ng catch-up Friday. Anong sasabihin nila? Etong teacher siya ulit ang magtuturo. Hindi naman sa reading intervention specialist. So ano ituturo niya? The same thing na tinuro niya ng Monday to Thursday. So we need to train.
Specialists.
Yes, for that. So yun ang problem Meron tayong kakulangan. Hindi natin prioritize yung expenses natin sa education. Akala natin pag nagpatayo tayo ng ganito, hahayaan na lang natin yung mga teachers. Mali. Dapat may proper training yung mga teachers kasi at the end of the day, sila yung brains behind education. Of course, infrastructure is very important. But the teachers must be funded both sa private and the public for purposes of their training and capacity building.
Bakit ka nararapat iboto ng mga Pilipino?
Sapagkat ako po ay may kakayahan at kaalaman ng halos lahat nakakausap ko na tao sa kalye, magsasaka, mangingisda, mayayaman, teachers, lawyers. Ako po ay may kakayahan at kaalaman pagdating sa batas sapagkat ako po ay isang abogado for 17 years, litigation lawyer. Isa rin po akong teacher sa University of Santo Tomas. At meron po kaming, ang advocacy ako po sa children with special needs. Yan po ang itataguyod natin sa Senado dahil binabaliwala po ang mga pamilya na may children with special needs. Sana mabigyan sila ng libreng therapy, mabigyan sila ng free developmental assessment and livelihood programs para sa mga kamag-anak po nila. Sana po mabigyan ako ng pagkakataon. 20 sa balota.
Okay. Okay. Maraming
That's
salamat.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much for the
Thank
interview.
you.
Okay naman, the interviewers were very fair with their questions and I'm very excited actually. Although talagang nakakakaba, but if you know what you want to say and it goes from your heart, makikita nila yung sincerity.